Good morning, friends. I hope you're having a good start to your day and you are ready to get started with this lesson. Today, what you're going to need is either some tea, and I have some tea right here. I brewed 2 bags of tea. Actually, first I boiled some water, and then I put 2 bags of tea in about a half a cup of water, just to make a nice concentrated liquid. And then this, if you're going to use coffee, or you could use both, this is some of the old coffee grounds from this morning. And then again, I took hot water, about a half a cup or so of hot water, and put it over them just to brew them a little bit more. I have probably a quarter or a half a cup of coffee grounds in here, just to make a nice dark and concentrated mixture. And so I just want to show you quick. This is what it looks like when I'm painting with the coffee, and you can see that's nice and dark. It's probably going to get darker throughout the day, actually, because it'll just get more concentrated. So that's the coffee, and I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen when these coffee grounds dry on here. I have a feeling, this one's a little bit more dry, that they're going to be a little bit more concentrated, those spots right there. And so that's kind of a cool effect, almost like the salt. Now, this is the tea that I'm using. This is just black tea, and the tea is a little bit lighter, you can tell. But the cool thing about using coffee and tea as a medium to paint with is that, just like watercolor, you can start layering on top of it to create dark areas, and use more water to create light areas, just like you would with watercolor. So this tea up here is almost dry, so if I start going over it, you can start to see some areas are going to be darker. Alright, the other thing I did is I took a white crayon and I wrote hi here, and I made a little heart down here. You have to press really hard with the crayon. I didn't quite do that when I did these. But you can also use the crayon as resist, just like you would with watercolor. So what can you do with this material now? Well, this is a painting that I started. I did a little sketch of looking out my workroom area, and I just started painting it with the coffee. Now you can use both materials, both mediums on one, and just see what might be the difference might be. But I like to use it in kind of a loose way, meaning that I'm not going to try to fill in every area with color, just to create kind of a interesting effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my background here, and then I'll use a smaller brush to create the other things in my picture, more of the details. So, like I said, you can overlap with more color. I'm using the coffee right now, and I'm just kind of going over areas that I might want to have a little bit darker, just to add some interest and some value and maybe some emphasis to an area. So that's what you can do. One thing you can do. Another thing you can do is you can take your paper and you can crumple it. And this is a great way to age paper. So what I did here is I just took my paper and I crumpled it, many different times. This is a heavier paper, and I just crumpled it. You could just crumple it once, but I just kept unfolding it and refolding it and crumpling it. And I probably did that 5 or 6 times. And what you're going to notice, give it a good squeeze, is how soft the paper becomes. It almost becomes like fabric. So this is a cool way to age paper. It's a fun way after you have gone over the background with your tea or coffee. You could create a treasure map on here. You could create another drawing with a different medium, like with a marker or some crayons. You could make a treasure map. That might be kind of cool. You could write a message with a white crayon first and then crumple it and then mail it to someone and tell them to use their coffee or tea to go over it. It's kind of like a, like a decoder, kind of a spy thing. But there's so many possibilities, friends, that you can do with this material. You can see here I left some of the coffee grounds on here just to create some dark areas. But I love it, love it, love it when the coffee gets into or the tea, whatever you're using, gets into the crevices, and it's going to make those areas just a little bit darker. And I just love that, and I love the way it looks. This is a fun, fun way to make an artwork, to age your paper, to create a cool effect, to write someone a message or a letter, and so forth. Anyway, I hope you have fun with this material. It's a really fun way to recycle something that's already been used. It's a fun way to create art. You can use it as just a background, or you can use it as a material to paint with and actually create your completed artwork. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you again on Monday. Take care and have a wonderful weekend. Bye.